Hey guys.
How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Excuse me. So I've been struggling a little bit with my mojo. I've been planning to do this. I've had this laid out on my desk for over a week now. And I played around with one little snowman tag, and I don't know. I don't know what's been going on with me. I've just kind of been, meh. Anyway, so I'm trying to reactivate my mojo. I had started on some Christmas things. I got inspired, and I started putting some books together and pages together, and I pulled out all my Christmas stuff and organized it and kind of worked on my last year Christmas journal, and I'm pretty much done with that, except I still got a few journaling things to do, but for some reason I've just been struggling. So I'm kind of forcing myself today to do this video because I do have some I kind of wanted to do like the Christmas in July thing, but that didn't happen, and so I'm gonna do Christmas in August. So I'm gonna show you guys how I just paint some very simple, this one I was just kind of playing around with. So just gonna paint some very simple tags and show you how I do this. And these were not my original idea. A lot of times I get ideas from Pinterest and then I just do my own thing with it. So nothing is like identical to what I saw on Pinterest. But there's so many different things you can do with snowmen, and they're simple. So what I thought I would do is show you how to just do a very simple snowman tag. Now, this one that I started with, and I'm not finished with him yet, but this is a chipboard. So this is a chipboard tag. I found some at Michael's in a pack. They were on sale, and there was like, I don't know, there was maybe 10 of them in a pack. And I just pulled a few of them out. I like doing stuff like this for my packages. In Christmas, I really like, I usually do brown paper, and then I'll put some kind of pretty ribbon or twine, and then I usually kind of the splurge I'll do is I make tags, and then my kids and my grandkids keep them, and then some people will just give them back to me, and I'll use them in journals or whatever, or as little tabs on pages and things. Or, you know, you can just make these for Christmas journals, whatever you want to do with them. It's one of those things that the possibilities are, again, endless. Whatever you want to do, whatever kind of snowman you want to paint, you can use just cardstock. So these are just cardstock, okay? So what I was going to do is just show you real simple. What I'll do is I'll kind of do an assembly line where I'll do the little snowman heads, okay, like that. And then I'll go back and you know, I'll do hats, or I might do a little toboggan, you know, and then I'll do all the little faces on them. So I'm going to show you real quick, and I've got my paintbrushes here and my napkins and my paint. And I'm using a gesso. You can use white acrylic paint. This is an Artist Loft paint, which is inexpensive. This one happens to be pretty empty. I've used it all. You can use a Basics acrylic gesso. This is thicker than this, and I've pretty much used most of that, but any kind of white paint will do. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to use a gesso. I like using gesso because I use it on other things too. So, and I like this better than this acrylic gesso. This is thicker, and if you want more texture, this is going to give you a little bit more texture, but this goes on, seems to go on better and thinner. So whatever you want to use. And then I use these paints from Target. So they have they're like a satin paint. So I have a satin brick, and they're handmade modern. So they're about $2 a jar. I just really like this particular paint. Again, you can use the dollar ones. Doesn't matter, whatever paint you have on hand. You know, black, orange for the nose, you know, red for the toboggan, or whatever. So all I do is I'll start with a fairly decent sized brush. These are inexpensive brushes that I got from Michael's. I don't really have any expensive. I have a couple of decent watercolor brushes, but I just don't, now I don't like the really, I don't like these type of brushes. I don't know what kind of hair this is. These are more like kid, they're really long ones. They're inexpensive. These are great for kids. I don't like the hairs in these. They tend to come out. But you can get a pack of these, Artist Loft, and I think these are Artist Loft brushes too at Michael's for, I don't know, $4 or $5. It comes with several different sizes, and you can see mine are well loved. I've had to tape them back together. Yeah, mine are well loved. I'm not good about really cleaning them up real good, other than this part. Anyway, so I'm just going to take and put a good amount of paint on my brush, and I'm just going to sort of do a kind of a half circle, okay? This is not hard at all. No. I'm just going to do the snowman's head, okay? Now you can do a second coat if you want to. Let that dry. It won't take too long to dry. And you can do a second coat if you want to. I may go back, I think. Maybe I'll do a second coat on these. And I've got my coffee sitting here too, so like be careful, don't do like I do. I have stuck my brush in my coffee before. I've done that many times. So you just do your little assembly line, and you can make your tags out of anything. Like I use Pop-Tart boxes, I use cereal boxes, I use just regular old craft, you know, just regular old craft cardstock. We can back these later with some other paper and stitch around them and dress them up. So many different things you can do with these. And you can make this the whole bottom, you know, your head, kind of like I did this one. Or just kind of leave it where you can see, you know, these just, it's just this big round head, right? So that's all I'm doing. It's just that simple to get your, to do your snowman's head. Now, if you have a hard time doing this circle, or if you want it to be a perfect circle, you can always use something as a template, you know, and you can draw it on there first and then paint in the lines if that's easier for you to do. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna set this one aside. So this one's already dry, and he's thick enough. Like I said, this is supposed to be a fun project. It's supposed to look handmade. I'm not looking for perfection. So on him, I think what I want to do is I think I want to make him a hat. So what we can do, let me give me a smaller brush here. That's not the one I want. Let's see. I told y'all I've been struggling with my mojo. So I don't really have my mess together here. So you can, you know, with your gesso, let's say, because I got him kind of off center here, so let's say I want to do a hat, and let's say I want to go this way with it. So I'm going to make him a little toboggan. And I'm going to do it in the gesso first, because then on the cardstock, the red paint will show up better. If I kind of do the gesso first. And I'm not used to painting like this way. So it's hard for me. To all those people who are really good at doing this instruction type videos, on this type of stuff, kudos to you because it's tough. So I want some, like I want to have like little kind of bumps in the toboggan, you know, where I can do some stripes. So I'm just going to do some little lines like that. Just to give it, so it's not just a flat, straight line around it. So you can see the movement sort of in the hat. I hope that makes sense. Okay. And we'll turn my, if you don't like the heat tool, close your ears for a second. You can dry this real quick. And now see, you sort of have, I don't know if you can see, but you sort of have a little bit, some sort of ridges in there. It gives it a little bit of texture. It's probably hard to see with the white. But then I can go back. I can go back with my red. And now we could use a bright ladybug red. Or we could use the brick red. I think I might try the brick red. So I just dip right into my paint because I find if I dump a bunch of it out, and this is a little bit thicker paint, if I dump it out, I end up wasting it. So I'm just going to kind of come back and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to see if I like this red. And my gesso's not completely dry, but it's okay. And this paint's gotten kind of thick. See that? It's got kind of thick in there. And these paints, if you do let them sit around too long, they tend to dry up a little bit faster on you. Get a little water on there. I always keep a paper towel over here. I don't know if you can see this. I keep a paper towel over here next to me so I can wipe my paint off. Yep, and my gesso's not dry right there. It's okay. We're gonna go back over it a couple of times anyway. Because I'm gonna go back and put, I'll go back probably and put some white stripes. Or you could just kind of leave it like that, you know? You don't have to, you can start out with a plan and then whatever happens, like, I could just leave it like that, you know, and leave that kind of texture and those little bits of white sort of in there. You know, it doesn't have to be, perfect, you know? Way too much paint on here. So let's try it again. One thing I also like, when you use the dryer, if you, like, when you use the heat, this is a heat tool. Mine's a Recollections. I had a Ranger one that I finally burnt up. I used it so much, but I kind of get close, and if you hold it like really close, the paint will bubble. Do you see how it's doing that? And I like doing that because I like the texture that gives to the paint. And then you can just kind of push that down. Do you guys see how that does? Can you see how it puts a texture in the paint? which I like. I like to do that. If you do not want your paint to do like that, don't get your heat tool so close to your paint. But I like that. I like that additional texture in there. Okay. I'm not going to mess too much with the hat. So we're going to let that dry a little bit on its own. Okay. And then one thing I'm bad about too is closing these up real good. Close these up real good because, yeah, if you don't. And my black paint is getting down to the bottom. I'm going to try another technique for the eyes. Rather than just using a really small brush, because it is hard. Like, you have to use a really, really small brush to get the small, dots like I like for the eyes and the mouth. And that can be challenging. So I'm gonna try this little tool. This came in a little tool set that I got, I don't know, a while back from Michael's, and it's got like a grommet tool and a little hammer, and then like a little cutting pad in it, and a pair of scissors and little tweezers. And this little tool, which you use on when you're making flowers and you kind of roll to make the flowers roll. I'm gonna try this right here and see. I've never thought about trying this, and I'm gonna see if I can get a better dot. I probably have too much paint on there. And then I'm just gonna try to decide where I want my eyes, and then I just put 2 little dots for the eyes. Now, they're kind of small. I like them like that. You can do bigger eyes. You could use googly eyes, you know, if you're making these with your kids, this would be fun. And then I just come around to the side, and I'm just gonna do my little dots. And this is working pretty well, by the way. A lot easier than the paintbrush. And I'll make his little smile. And so you gotta be careful how much you get on there. Yep, just like that. So now he has his eyes and his little smile. Okay. Then I use this burnt orange, which I need to get some more of because it's about dried up too. I haven't used some of these since last year, as you can see. Look at that. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna take my small little paintbrush here. I'm just gonna get enough paint here at the edge. Okay. And I'm gonna draw him a little carrot nose. Now sometimes it's easier just to do this little, kind of the way I did the hat. Kind of do it sideways and then just make you a little pointy carrot like that. And then it really sort of looks more like a carrot. Okay. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. But you could do your own, I mean, you can do your noses however you want to do it. And if this is your snowman, you paint him like you want. I'm just here to show you some ideas, okay? And then back to the, my big brush. I need to go get some more water. So here, I'm gonna wet my brush. Now I've kind of cleaned it off, and I'm gonna get me some on the end of my brush, and I'm gonna do a little, like a little fuzzy ball on the end of his hat like that. Okay. And then I think I'm gonna come back with this brush that I did the nose with, and I think I'm gonna do some lines. Let's do some little lines across this hat like that. This is really, really simple. You can just do it, and you can see I am not looking perfection. I just want to make him a little hat. So then we can take the heat gun and dry it. And again, I'm going to hold it to make it kind of bubble right there. So it almost gives this little hat the texture. So now you have a little snowman with a toboggan. Now, we can go back and clean this up. Like I would probably, think I want to, let's see how much time. Yeah, I'm trying to make this a simple, short tutorial. So we can go back but it might be longer. We can go back and kind of fix this little line right here. And you can fill in, like if you don't like this, like say you don't like this little texture part up here, you can fill it in. You know, I kind of like some of that, so I'm gonna leave some of that there. But that's it. So you got your little snowman with a toboggan. And you can do as much detail as you want. Now you can keep on, but for me, you know, these are fun, and I want to keep it simple, and I don't want to spend an hour. You know, I don't want to spend an hour making a tag, you know, just for a present. And I want to kind of keep it whimsical. You know, this is just supposed to be kind of fun, not, you know, fine arts. You could come back, you could just leave this tag like this, or you could use some ledger paper on the back, or you could stamp your to and from on here. You could just draw lines on it if you want to use it in a journal. You know, we could go back, we could stitch around here, and of course I'll add twine or ribbon or something here to the tag, and I'll dress them up. So that's your little, you know, your little snowman with the toboggan. And any colors, you know, like I like doing the blue hats, and then, you know, a green hat with red stripes, or whatever you want to do. So this one, I want to do another one. So I want to kind of show you a little bit different from this hat. So this hat, you know, I just pretty much did a line, and then I did a block for the hat, and then I just kind of curved around it, and I added a little flower and just a little bit of red paint and white stripes across there. Now I need to go back and add his little yellow center, you know, and add ribbon or whatever I'm going to do to him. Okay. So that's those two. And then let's say for him, I want to add like maybe a tall, skinny top hat. So you can go on Pinterest too, guys, and look up snowman tags. Like there's so many different ways you can do this. You could punch like 2-inch circles out of white paper and just paint your eyes and nose and punch a hole and put a tag, and I mean, you know, put a little piece of ribbon or twine or whatever, and you got a little tag or a little journaling spot. whatever. There's so many things you can do. So on this one, I'm just going to use the black, and I want to make him a little, like a kind of a tall, funky hat. So I'm just going to do a line. Okay. And then I want to do like a tall, and see, I can't draw a straight line sometimes. So a lot of times I turn things around. If it's awkward to me, I'll paint upside down. Just feels better, feels right or something. Let's just say I want to make just kind of a tall top hat on my snowman. Okay, let's see. And you could do it at an angle. You could do it straight across. I kind of wanted this one to kind of be a little funky. Let's do it kind of like that. Okay. So now we got a little tall top hat. And then I'm gonna get my little tool out again. This worked pretty well if I can get it to work again. And then I'll put his little eyes up here. And then just come around. And you can do your dots however you want, however big you want. You know, if you don't want little. If you don't want little dots, you can do it different. I like sort of the little dots and kind of the big half smile. Like that. And then we'll come back with the burnt orange again. And we'll just do the little, it's really like just doing like little really small curved lines, and then just do kind of like a little swoosh, like a little line. And then you can come back and make it, you know, bigger, and you can make it, you know, you can make it straighter. You can make it more wonky than this. Like I said, he's your snowman. Do him however you want. So now he's got his nose. And you could also take, like I think another thing that's really cute too, so take a little bit of this red paint. Let's mix just a little bit of the gesso, just kind of make a little pink. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just mixing a little bit of the red with the gesso to make a pink. And then you could like give them, just like you could give them some sort of little rosy cheeks. That's cute too. Well, his cheek really should be on the other side of his mouth, but you get the idea. I think he's cute. And then you could lighten it up even more. You could take some more white and, well, so we could really sort of make a bigger rosy cheek. Okay, now I'm gonna have to cover that up. I'm gonna dab him, yep. See how that just came right off of there? Yep. I'm gonna come on the other side of his cheek and do his, or the other side of his face, yeah. So we'll just do his little rosy cheeks. I was just trying to lighten the pink up a little bit, adding water. like that. So now he has some little rosy cheeks. And it does make a difference when you thin that down. Yeah. I kind of botched that cheek a little bit. I'll have to play with it, but you get the idea. I'm mixing in the black now. Anyhow, you see how things go. He's gonna have red cheeks now. That's how it goes when you're playing around with paints. But you get the idea. So you can just keep, you know, you can do whatever you want to do with your little snowman. I can totally come back and paint over that with white and fix it, make it look a little bit better, but he's still cute. So yeah. So that's him, and that's him, and then this is this little guy. And this little guy. So you got three different ways you can do them, you know. And this is what happens when you start playing around. You know, sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. It's totally fixable. I can come back over with my gesso and fix that so it looks a little bit better. I like this cheek. I just don't like how this one came out. So anyway, I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration on doing some tags. Or painting. Like, this is sort of how I do my my covers, you know. Like, I'll start with the cereal box. Let me show you. So like my snowman covers, I know, and this is gonna be another video I'm gonna do. So I start with a Ritz cracker box, okay, and I cut it down, and then I paint. Either add gesso. This one I started painting pink. I'm probably gonna come back and add the blue over this one, and then show you how to do the snowman on the cover, the way I've done the covers. So I'm gonna do that video, and then another thing you can do, and I made several of these for friends last year. So this is a mason jar seal. Okay, so you can buy the ball jars. You buy the jars, and then you can buy the seals separate. Okay, the little lids that fit in the seal that fits in the lid. I know you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I had some of these on hand. I actually had some that I recycled, but you can also go buy these. But if you have them, I just painted these with gesso and did the little faces and added some fabric pieces and twine to them. And I painted on both sides, initialed it, and you can take a little hook, and these make great ornaments, or they make great, they're great to add to a gift. You know, when you're wrapping gifts, you can just add this to a gift, and then the person gets the gift plus the ornament. Especially if you're doing baked goods, I think this is a great idea. This was also totally stolen from Pinterest. Now my snowman looks different, but... And then I have done the gingerbread men in the past. So if y'all are interested in seeing these, let me know. I'll do a video of these, and it's pretty much just making a template. So this is one, just to show you the difference. I don't know if you can really see. This is one that I covered the template with paper. This is one that I painted. Okay. So you can do them different ways. And I simply made a template, okay? Cereal box, okay? Cereal boxes. Don't throw those out. You can use them for so many different things. This does not cost a lot of money. You can use boxes. You've got a pair of scissors and some paint. That's all you need, okay? So you just make you a template and cut a bunch of them out. Now, it's time consuming. But some of the cereal boxes are thin enough that it doesn't really torture your hands to cut out. Okay, some of the thicker boxes makes it a little bit more difficult to cut out. But if y'all want to see that, let me know. And I think I'm gonna do just so you kind of know what's coming up. If I keep my mojo going, y'all just say a little prayer for me to keep my mojo going, because I've just really been, I don't know what's going on with me. I know it happens to all of us, but anyway, I guess it's just the world. What's going on now? I don't know. Usually I don't, it keeps me busy, so it keeps my mind off of everything else. But here lately, I don't know, just been kind of, like I said. Anyhow, so I'm rambling again. So I can show you how to do the gingerbread tag. I was going to do some fabric washi. I am going to do the cover. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. And maybe my process. I've had somebody else ask about my process for putting like the little golden books together. So I've already kind of started a couple of books for Christmas. So I'm early enough in the process, I think I can kind of start from there and do that. And if there's anything else you guys are interested in, let me know. And I will see you soon. I'm going to stop rambling now. Love you guys. Bye.